time since I've been able to create a video because the President of the United States has been harassing me with her McRaven, and Prince Harry has not been keeping his, and the royal family, believing that I don't know what I'm talking about, has been slowly screwing themselves over and about to destroy the House of Windsor. But I'll get to that in this next bit. See, McRaven has kept saying, "Oh, he's going to make me homeless. He's been slowly, legally trying to erase me. He's stolen uh, my original entrance passport from when I was a baby. He has stolen the uh, my what is it called? Um, I don't remember what it's called. It's the oh no, my citizenship certificate it's out of my paperwork, my military paperwork. It's not there. It's part of that package. It's not there anymore for some reason. He's stolen. Uh, he's harassed me. He has violated the president as the president's agent and the Democrats' agent. He's violated my First Amendment rights, my Fourth Amendment rights, plus what other civil rights and civil liberties. The president believes that he's going to screw over Black African Americans again because he thinks you're fucking stupid. He has you guys attacking my positions. He has violated my rights by broadcasting uh, um, my positions. He has violated my rights by trying to say who I should can and will can and cannot associate with. He's violated my rights to publicity by trying to make it look like I'm gay when I'm extremely heterosexual. He's violated my rights by having his agent put his hands on me. That's that faggot up in Washington, D.C. named Gary. And then he violated my rights by putting mites in my in my uh, in my toiletries. The president of the United States, the last four presidents of the United States have attacked me for doing what? Just being myself and trying to live in my American dream. Definitely tells you these oligarchs how much control they have over the United States and how much has been lost since the 1970s and 80s. And then he has black African Americans all coming after me. People you should be going after. You should be going after Jay-Z. They paid him hundreds of millions of dollars so he can screw me over. Is he investing in your neighborhoods? No, he's not. The little Bitcoin thing, but that was mostly just so he can get some money. They have Lady Markle's mom thinking that's they're in. They're pissed off about that. And I keep blocking her from being able to manipulate Lady Markle. Then they bring in Oprah. Oprah, when she was originally asked to help, she balked. And now she's all like, oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. But it's not about helping, it's about what she can get. Because she thinks she's going to come in and then tell me what to do and then push me out of the way. Same with the Kardashians. The Kardashians thought they were, the Negro Slayers. Now everyone thinks, oh, he's beaten. The Democrats won't pay me my money. They have violated my rights continuously for decades. And Biden thinks he's going to win. Like I said, he thinks he's going to screw over black Americans again. That's not going to happen. Let me explain to you why. Now, this video, they're going to try to cut. So it'll be written onto my Facebook page about exactly what's going on. See, Brother Cornel West, the reason he's running for president, and he even said it, because he realized what I was talking about months ago when he put it in. He realized the Democrats have been screwing over black Americans, just like Malcolm X said. But now it's even better, the twofers, because they get you with a double bind, which is the narcissist or the cluster B's favorite maneuver. It's just damned if you do, damned if you don't. That's called the double bind, or the catch 22. Now, how this catch 22 works for Black America or against Black America is this: they use the faggots, and I'm not talking, the gays, whatever, the LGP, whatever, A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Who gives a shit? The only reason they keep adding all those letters is to tell straight men and straight women what they'll be. And that's why there's that huge backlash for the Republicans as far as gender studies. Because the hermaphrodite faggot demons are using it, as they always have, as a way to gain control. Who you love is none of my damn business. But how you behave and how you treat me, that is. And what they do is they say, well, which is reactive abuse. Ping, ping, they'll poke, 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 poke. You defend yourself, and then they say, well, something's wrong with you. In other words, as the IAEP or IEA personality, it externalized antagonistic personality states, something's wrong with them, because what's wrong is that this person's fighting back, and they think they're supposed to be able to dump their negativity onto that positive person. So therefore, other people think the positive person is no longer positive, and that therefore the positive person blows up, defends themselves, and then the other one then mimics the positive person's behavior before they blow up to the rest of the world, therefore making the world think they're really a positive person when they're really a piece of shit. And we know through the data there's a high probability of a lot of uh, gay, lesbian, and transvestite persons who are IEAPs. Cluster B, which is psychopath, narcissist, borderline. And it depends on what age did the true self be shut down. If they were like a baby, that's probably a psychopath, even though that's genetically disposed. If it's about 3 to 4, that's a toddler area age. That's when you get your narcissist, your malignant narcissist. It's around about 7 or 9 or 10. That's when you get your borderline. But they do the same thing. They think it's an externalized self because they can't stand themselves. We have a lot of our politicians are that. That's why we send them. We know they're crap. That's why the whole thing about Obama. Oh, he must be. We'll get to that when I get to why Biden's not going to. Why Biden keeps going the way he's going, he's not going to win. So I want to make sure of that. Oh well, let's take care of it. Let's take care of it. So, for instance, right now, there's only 3 things I have to take care of on this. The reason is this. Back to that double bind, catch 22. See, this is how they screw you over, Black Americans, because they know you're a bunch of idiots. They know you're illiterate, uneducated, unsophisticated. You don't have any true leaders, and your so-called leaders they gave you, which were persons like Jay-Z and all the gangbangers, and then they make sure your music has nothing uplifting about it. It's all about sex and trying to get out and just all about the hood. So only thing your mind knows is small things. Now you could be upset with me. I do not care. Truth hurts. That's screwing you over. The only person I'm trying to help you, but you don't want to listen. Well, you ain't one of us. No, I am culturally not you. I do not care. The only thing I share is a skin tone. Black African American, as far as I'm concerned, is a culture. Nothing to do. Racism is a social construct. And we know that now, especially knowing what the cluster B does and how it affects in a full cultural fair. Because what it means by that is they externalize all of the bigots externalize all their negativity onto black African Americans, onto those other people. That's that whole thing about the only real Americans, because you're not supposed to be American because that's where all of our negativity is. Why is our negativity, from their perspective, why is their negativity voting? From McRaven's perspective, who's nothing more than who's a psychopath, Southern bigot, which means, instead of Biden stopping this shit, continue with it means he's a bigot as well. It's not just about power, but he's from things he's said. He was the one who put on that crime bill. The only person who didn't go for the crime bill was Bernie Sanders. The bill that over 30 years has absolutely gutted the Black African American community. And then they get the faggots, the demon hermaphrodite faggots, the LGB, blah, 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 suck, whatever the fuck, come in and buy up all your properties in your neighborhoods and then push you out. And you get nothing because you've been renting the whole time. That's a feature, not a bug. And the reason that they want, because that's one of the things in real estate, if you want to know an area is going to be gentrified, look where the gays are. They're the first ones to move in and gentrify their neighborhoods. And they view that because the gays are the ones with the money. That's what the Democrats are doing. And then it also goes back to where psychopaths, the cluster Bs, as far as racism is concerned, have the gays over the straight black African American male. Or if they're straight black African American male, they're nothing more than criminals such as Jay-Z. It's the only reason Jay-Z never went to jail is because, well, he played the game of screwing over black African Americans. Getting you to enculturate yourself to only believing the school to prison pipeline, keeping the prison industrial complex going. And the Democrats have been throwing black Americans under the bus because, well, you can't go with the Republicans, right? Because they're as racist as the old Dixiecrats, because that's what they are. They're the Dixiecrats moved over. But you still have some of the Dixiecrats in the Democratic Party who still control. Now they have, and then you have and so what that gives the oligarchs the ability to just bounce back and forth. Democrats are supposed to fall, and then the Republicans pick it up, and then the Democrats are supposed to try to act like they're protecting, and then they're kicking them in the teeth, and the Republicans pick it up. Biden's supposed to be acting like, oh, he's for workers. He's only for white workers. Now I understand it's about creating coalitions and all that, but this is the thing: is that coalition. If it's one of those where you do something and it's throwing you under the bus underneath just for doing something, nah, that's not it. That's not happening anymore. So they've been playing. That's the game they've been playing for years. The whole thing about getting Obama elected, oh yeah, they knew this was coming. They knew that Trump was going to be like, oh yeah, they finally, after all these years, they knew the backlash would be so strong. And when they got Trump, they're elated. Finally destroy the Constitution of the United States and put in their three fascist processes. And then those, and then those, and then because of all the faggots, the Democrats showed them where they're at. They can come in and now kill the faggots and re-put the Black Americans back in their place. Because Black Americans, they'll deal with it. They'll be here forever. They're used to being in poverty. They can deal with it. So, like I said, how they get you to how they play Black Americans. So they get you to go after the person. Oh, he ain't black enough, or he ain't like us, or just like the mechanics. What they did was wrong. Then my brother sends me, "Oh, when you coming back? Fuck you guys." I I come back and I do what I do when I want to. But my sister, my brother, and kids never, ever, ever be near the royal family because who they are when it was time to actually show up, they were nowhere. They all they think about is their own greed. My mother is stripped of any honorifics because she has tried to overthrow. First, tried to overthrow Jamaica. That's why they were exiled. Then now, trying to overthrow the King of England and the Constitution of the United States. Yeah, no, that's her legacy. So once again, how does it work? What's their goal? How do they're going to sit there? Just actually, all they have to do is look at their attacks on me. They've been trying to silence me. Ever once they started realizing I actually knew what I was talking about, they flipped out. McRaven has been harassing me. And the way it works is, all right, I'll have somebody come into where I'm at, so I won't be able to get any sleep, or they'll use the phone. Usually the phone doesn't work. They have to actually have somebody physically there because no matter what, we always know when somebody's around. And then my senses are even hypersensitive. So if somebody's even in the area, something that's evil affects my sleeping. Plus, then they have the cameras to make sure everything's that way. They no longer, and then the president's protecting McRaven for the oligarchs. He's a terrorist. And then he's talking to Prime Minister Sunak and King Charles and like, oh, you don't have to. No, 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 no. You don't get this, Biden. No matter what King Charles says, what I say goes. King Charles can run everything, do what he has to do, except when I say something, he has to do it or I will remove him from his throne. If we are an absolute monarchy, that is what is meant by being Her Majesty's sovereign champion. And I am not power hungry. I could care less. I'd rather get this to the point where I just get back to being an American citizen and keeping to the contract, which means I'll be beneath the family, but I'd be a duke or whatever the hell. It's mostly just that way you fuckers can't kill me. Could care less about it. and so that I could create the processes and systems in the manner that I wish. Because what you're trying to do is you keep trying to steal all my shit. All the money that you're making off of my name, none of you have illegally off my name have no wants to actually return that money to me. You're going to say, "Oh, well, here's a little bit. Here's $10 million." Oh, meanwhile, you've made over $1 billion. And they go, "Well, we'll just give Prince Harry 20 or $30 million." That means he'll be beholden to you. Even if you were to give him everything, you would be beholden to you, and it would be peanuts compared to what the contract's worth, full value is. As I said, nobody has to give anything to Her Majesty's fund. It's purely voluntary. And if you're talking all upset about the fact that, hey, I'm going to get a huge chunk, well, that's none of your damn business. I'm an American. I am only staying within the normal bounds of being an American. And it is incumbent upon me to maintain my Americanness as well as being part of the Commonwealth. And as I stated to Her Majesty, if the Commonwealth tries to overthrow the Constitution, well, then I'll slap down the Commonwealth and Great Britain and United Kingdom. But if the Constitution, if we the people try to overdo and put down the crown, well, then I have to defend the crown. It is a perilous position to be in, but it is necessary to save the Constitution from these oligarchs. Right now, they're still in my computers. They're still showing my positions. It was really, really interesting. I had a position on, I took it off, put it on, took it off, and I watched the liquidity disappear, reappear like 3 different times, and I went, huh, still on my shit. Yeah, you guys know. Now I've known for a while. I've been sitting there testing this week. Last night you didn't. My alarm was turned off, so I wouldn't wake up at the time I needed to wake up. Black Americans, Biden's not your boy, unless you can do what I'm going to tell you to do. He's screwing you over. He's throwing you under the bus, just like the Democrats always have, because they are more worried about their large donors than they are about you, their constituents. You notice they don't say black men are their main constituents, so they say the black women, because they pretty much know that they've wiped out black man, black African American man from voting. Then they can manipulate and maneuver women. What did Hillary Clinton say? Call black Americans with with just disdain. Her firewall. In other words, she said, "You're so stupid. You're not going to even listen to Bernie, even though he's actually the one working for you, trying to look out for you." And you did exactly that. I wouldn't be surprised if McRaven was the one who put it into Comey's mind to release the email thing. McRaven or Prince, Eric Prince, to release those emails, to release that that week before, because they want a theocracy. See, why Brother West is running for president, he even said it. It's because he said the Democrats are screwing over his people. You can't bitch about his black credentials. He's blackity blickety black, blackity black. Malcolm X black. Martin Luther King black. And just like everybody else, when I started, you all thought I was like, who's this nigga thinking he can blah, 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 blah. Even try to get all pissed off. So I was like, why don't you? I'm like, I ain't stupid. I know what the game is. Now he sees the light. And now he's helping you stand up for your rights. But will you have the courage to listen to your brother? You don't have to like me. I don't really give a shit. To me, this is purely Game of Thrones. I'm dead anyways. Fuck all y'all. I set my shit up, and they'll probably send an assassin before or after, one of the two. Whoopty. As I said at the very beginning, history says people like me do not survive, but I damn sure going to make you pay. I'm damn sure going to make those oligarchs pay. How dare they think they can fucking kill me without a price? Oh, you're going to feel the pain, motherfuckers. You're going to feel the pain. And I'm going to be one twisting that knife. Now you can sit there and go, oh, those black folks won't. They would make it. Yeah, maybe they are stupid. Not my circus, not my monkeys. But you're still going to feel the fucking pain. Because McRaven's been screwing over veterans. You've been screwing over workers, Caucasian workers. You've been screwing over this entire country. $435 billion a year is paid out in payments. Problem is, most of that's going to hedge funds and all kinds of other places. It's not going into the pockets of the people. And then the thing is about those hedge funds, most of that money is then going into their pockets. And they say, well, we're not really making any money off that because of inflation that you created, that the hedge funds created, because they're telling these companies to raise their prices ridiculously for absolutely no reason, to shrink for inflation and then price increases. Then they take most of the monies out in fees, most of the profits out in fees, and then what's left of the other profits goes to another hedge fund. So they're all just making money off of each other, screwing everybody below, and the average working person's getting nothing. That's why they try to keep me. Well, you're supposed to be with the black. Yeah, this is about everything. This is about resetting the system, and I said that at the very beginning. Antebellum South sucked for everybody except a very few. So here's the thing. Now until I get paid, I'm not going to tell you the full process that's necessary to actually win, but I will tell you what's going to happen. So you don't say that way. I'm making sure you do lose, President Biden. See, Black American, all Americans, or a good majority of Americans, Dr. West, you are not. You're going to get on every single swing state ballot for presidency, every state you possibly can. And if you can't get on it through whatever, you can always write in your vote. Because you're going to have to give concessions to President Biden, to Black America, to the heterosexual Black American male that the Democrats, have been screwed over for 40, 50 years. That's why you kept trying to put that, trying to associate me with the hermaphrodites or ugly women. Yeah, you realize I do attract extremely gorgeous women. Didn't want them to know anybody to know that. It's not just the fact that I'm very picky on the mental part and emotional. It's got to be pretty fucking hot. This Hatfield was the only one that's ever been like average or below average. But that was before, she used to be really chill. But then McRaven, and, showed her real true colors. Help her show. It's one thing I got to give that these cluster visas, they help people. They help people show their real colors. What kind of people really are. Still waiting for an apology from Miss Hatfield. So I'll try to give it one. It's easy. Nah, I won't accept it. So once again, President Biden, you're going to lose. Everyone's going to go straight down. This is what you're going to do. Workers, Black African American, you'll vote for the Democrats for House and Senate, all up and down all up and down the ballot, but you will not vote for the president because what they're thinking is, well, Trump's going to be in jail, and so it won't have to matter. You can't have a president who's been in jail. You go, nah, doesn't matter. We don't know what's going to happen. He might be all 91, low probability, but he might beat all 91 charges, or he starts another riot. Which is more than likely. But even if he loses, he still is probably going to be on the ballot in most states, and he still probably win. And that's going to create a constitutional conundrum. Then Biden's going to say, well, he can't go on, and there's going to be all these um, uh, litigations and whatever. We won't have a president. It's fine by me. Or a few states that says he can't run because he's a felon. Well, Biden's in. But if you put Biden in without him, without a reckoning, he's just going to continue screwing everybody over because right now he's not afraid of his constituents. He is, but they are afraid of these large donors. That's why the Democrats have not gotten rid of Citizens United because they're sucking off the teat as well, screwing over their people. Yeah, Biden showed up on the picket line. That's cool, but does he really mean it? Because as long as Citizens United is in, it's a bunch of bullshit. As long as the oligarchs can pay spend the average Joe, it's all bullshit. Then they're going to say, "Oh, you're supposed to be afraid of Trump." Trump, they're afraid of Trump. Get the hell out of here. Trump's not the problem. He's a symptom. He ain't the disease. We're stopping this situation now. So the situation is, as I said, everyone votes for Cornel West. It doesn't have to be much, just enough to throw it, throw a monkey in the wrench. So black folks, don't vote for Biden because he doesn't give a shit about you. You need to start extracting concessions, investment in the black neighborhoods, things like that. And I have a whole list of what needs to be done. That'll swing presidency and screw everything up. Then on the down ballot, all Democrats. And or write somebody in if you're a Republican and you have a conscience, or just leave it blank, unless there's a decent, non-twisted, wackadoo, um, fascist MAGA Republican in there. There's just a regular Republican, business-oriented, social conservative, fiscally conservative. That's a different story. If there's one of them wackadoos, oh hell no. Go with the Democrat or just leave it blank. You, you'll swing everything back at the next one. But we need to put a foot up their buttock. They need to lose so that way we can get back, truly take our country back. Because right now they get you all twisted up with all racism and things, and meanwhile they're picking your pockets. Whether you're black, white, green, yellow, pink, or whatever the fuck the color is, I don't give a damn. Oh yes, one other thing, President Biden, you say you're a devout Catholic. One thing I didn't place or say is that I also have the backing of His Holiness Pope Francis. And what you're doing is going against by backing the oligarchs and they're attacking me. And then you're thinking, well, yeah, you're going against the people. You're going against what Pope Francis wishes and hopes for you to do. Granted, as an American, you do what you wish, and as an American president, you you serve the American. Well, you don't serve the American people. You serve the American oligarchs. But if you did serve the American people, you would also be listening to what Pope Francis is asking. The reason the Duke of Edinburgh, Scotland, Catholics, I'm baptized both in a Catholic church, I was an altar boy in both Catholic church and a Protestant church, Episcopalian church, baptized in both. Kind of strange. I didn't really think anything of it. It is what makes me so unique. Plus, heritage and stuff and blah, blah, blah. Throws that whole European thing that all those Europeans are, well, they're not trying to be here, destroy the European. Yeah, going against me is actually destroying European culture. Isn't that odd? Going against Her Majesty's wishes or trying to overthrow Her Majesty's wishes is going against European culture. Blocking me when I am studying my metaphysics is going against European culture, Christian culture. All those bigots who are trying to play the, well, Western civilization, well, you took the dirt, the dirt. Every attack on me is an attack on Western civilization. Not upholding the rule of law is an attack on me, which is an attack on Western civilization. By stealing my intellectual property and stealing my money, violating my civil and privacy rights. It's an attack on Western civilization. You know, it's been a long time since it started with this. Talked about the it externalized personality and how they really are kind of persons that are really not. Basically, a stuck child, how a healthy person's supposed to be, and how they really are. Oh, yeah, we forgot about this. This is the real situation. My why. I'm about to get to this. This has been hell. I do not want to deal with this. I just want to go back and live my life. I came up with my system specifically so I can just go snowboarding, not for any all this other crap that I'm dealing with. Just wanted to be my normal American self, live my American dream. But these bigots believe that makes me the most dangerous thing because a melanated man, heterosexual melanated man, living his American dream means they don't have control over my American dream. And their American dream is to remove everybody else's dream and use it for their own self. So I sold, technically, part of my American dream, my intellectual property, to Her Majesty. And oligarchs and the President of the United States thinks that they can get into the middle of a private contract between two private citizens. Now, if they have a problem with it being with the uh, Crown Estates, okay, because that's part of the public, then fine, I'll just do it with the privy purse. We'll not worry about the private the Crown Estates. Doesn't bother me either way. What bothers these people isn't that I'm incompetent. What bothers these people is that I am competent. The reason McRaven attacked me wasn't that I couldn't make it through SEAL training, is that I could make it through SEAL training. He would know, I would know what they were doing, and I would say it is wrong because I signed up to protect the Constitution, not a bunch of fucking oligarchs. Which gets me to the last thing. Prince Harry, they're going to come to you and they're going to state, and they're going to say, hey, you got to screw him over. Don't do it because then you will be beholden to them. When this is all shaken out, of course, I'll be, quote, in the cultural hierarchy and social hierarchy when it comes to anything to deal with Great Britain and the Commonwealth of Nations as a subject, because I'll be beneath. But as being an American, I'll still be an American. It's basically the same situation you're going to deal with your wife. But if you undercut me or throw me under the bus, they will come for you and the family. My mandate is to protect the royal family at all costs. And part of that cost, well, I'm taking my cut. I'm an American. I have to do it as an American as well to maintain the American part of this. And also, because I also stated I'm doing this as an American, I'm going to maintain being an American as well as that. I had no idea your grandmother was going to freaking give me a dukedom. I didn't ask for that. I just simply was like, hey, dude. So I was still just being an American business person. So I'm going into it as an American business person. But part of that contract, part of what was this, was protect my family, protect the people that I care about, and it's very few people. I mean, no, I'm not. It's just like McRaven threatened my sister and her husband's life. And that means you guys are in breach of contract, as far as I'm concerned. Because it's, yeah, the money, yeah, I'm good with that. But that piece of shit threatened my sister and her husband's life. Now my brother went along willingly because my sister-in-law's greed. That's why they can never be anywhere near the royal family. But they threatened my sister and my brother-in-law's life. That whole conversation when I was in D.C. that I know everyone was watching, that's my sister telling me something was up and that she was terrified and they threatened her life. And fucking president of the United States is protecting that terrorist. Prince William, Prince Harry, you are not a man until you stand up to your father. You need to quit blocking me. It's done. Quit blocking me. I know if I fuck up, I'm dead. I'm good with that. You fuck up, you're dead. You're supposed to continue on. I'll take the arrows. Stand up to your father and let me do what I gotta do. McRaven needs to be removed from this plane of existence. And it needs to be done now. And no longer will anybody be in my computer or in my phone because they're constantly hitting my positions. They're not coming into any place I'm at and waking me up so I can't get any fucking sleep and throwing my timing off. They're not going to talk to these companies like they did the USAA to attack me and Top Step to throw my timing off for 2 weeks as I waited for shit to happen. They're not doing this anymore. They're getting out of my damn business because my business is UK business. These oligarchs and their zaibatsus have to be stopped because they believe that they are going to be more powerful than nation states. And in a democracy, that means they're more powerful than the people. Case in point, we're seeing right now with the workers, United Workers, right? You have Stellantis. They want to gut the American middle class, remove 18 plants from the United States because they're over capacity. What the union should do is go, okay, we're taking you got how many billions to bailouts in 2008 plus interest, We're going to add a couple extra points. So let's say 9% interest. Yields of this much, how much we're supposed to get if we were payments. Well, we're going to take that much in stock options, and the stock option price is going to be $15 an hour or $15 per option. I don't care if the stock is worth $200 or whatever 15 at whatever percentage it is. So if the stock's worth $100, it's $15 an hour. You're going to give that to a union, and the union has 15 years to cash it in. 15-year stock option because they're going to remove and gut our neighborhoods, gut our people. I'm all about global free trade, but they're using it as a way to destroy the greatest country on earth, to destroy individual countries. So this is what has to happen. And you can say, well, we don't have to do what you talk. Americans don't. Great Britain kind of do. King Charles wants to maintain his throne. McRaven better not fuck with me again. He's going to try because he's a psychopath. He will do it again. And if he survives that, then Great Britain and the United Kingdom is no longer. It will be destroyed within 3 to 5 years, just like the oligarchs want. If you screw me over once before I put everything together, start making demands and everything else before I put everything together, same thing. You don't get to screw me over. Trust me, you will be far wealthier than I am if you do it the way I do it, and it's not going to look what you think it's going to look like. But that motherfucker threatened my family. The only person who's ever had my back, well, besides Grandma Walker, well, a couple other friends. But as far as from being a kid on up, my brother didn't protect me when I was a kid. My mom and my sister-in-law attacked him, and whatever happened to him. She threatened my sister. He threatened my sister and her husband and her kids, threatened their life. The President of the United States and his agent threatened my family's life, threatened my sister's life. And has thrown me, and four presidents, at least three, more than likely four, have been throwing me under the bus, stealing my intellectual property, destroyed my entire adult life, gotten in the middle of different relationships with absolutely stunning women, destroyed Fucked with my mind so I couldn't understand, couldn't see, clouded it. Destroyed relationships that were business oriented. And you're protecting this type of shit. These oligarchs who now want to destroy you, destroy your family, both here and back in London. Biden doesn't want to put the Constitution back on. I don't care what he wants. He's my employee. I am an American citizen. Those politicians work for us, lest they forget. So we have to remind them. If he doesn't like what I got to say, tough shit. Right now, Ukraine's doing all right. I don't want to say what's going on yet, but we're seeing a lot of weakness in what Russia's going on with Russia. Vladimir Putin is doing everything he can to keep the Moscow Rus, from getting into the war. As soon as that happens, la tête. Granted, Ukraine's going into debt, but we're making sure that they're being efficient. So that way, when they build for the peace, we get our money back because we build a society that can pay us back. They're doing good. They're trying to get rid of that corruption, the culture of corruption that's from the oligarchs of Russia is hard to get rid of. But they're doing the right things to make it happen, create systems in play because it's lost capital and it's lost and it's money that's lost into the whole system, making everybody poorer. Especially, that whole bribery type of corruption. There's always corruption, but unsophisticated or improper corruption is the worst. Even proper corruption, as we can see, is bad enough. But when you have proper corruption and improper corruption, you just have a completely destroyed society. So they're doing well. We need to keep that pressure on these these autocrats. We saw what's going on in Slovakia. Make no mistake about it, that didn't happen on its own. The situations in Africa, we see the situation in the Middle East. If the people, the common person, does not regain control of the United States of America, we will fall into a century or two long autocracies, which is nothing more than just wars. Because the IEAP personality, it externalized antagonistic personality, can't exist without chaos and death. They're incompetent little shits. They're toddlers. They get other people to clean up the mess they make. The mess they're going to make is in blood. And Prince Harry, that might be your kid's blood. It'd definitely be King Charles's, because he's the first one they want to get rid of. These theocrats. And then they're going after the Pope. Prime Minister Sunak, I gave a command. I need that command followed through upon. Mr. Eric Prince and Mr. McRaven attacked my family. If you cannot do so, then I will have you removed. If you say, well, that's you're thinking about or your power, nope. As I said, King Charles keeps doing everything else. When I need something done, you don't got a choice. If you think you say you have a choice, no, you don't. Because if I am dead, then we have an absolute monarchy. And you definitely don't have a choice. I am to return the crown. But before I can return the crown, I got to make sure the Constitution is upheld. And you keep getting in my damn way of protecting. How dare him think he can threaten and interfere in my life and threaten my family? These two jackasses, two theocratic Southern bigots. If you're squeamish about taking both of them out, whoever gives the other one up first gets to live. But he's constantly under observation. And if any of them, if they attack me again, they are to be removed immediately. Glory, Slava Ukraine. Glory to the flag. Glory to the United States. And may the flag forever wave over the land of the free and the home of the brave. And God save the king for being a complete idiot.